All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Let us share the link and we get started in the next 2 minutes. All right, okay. It is a blessing to have you all here this morning. It's really a blessing to have you all here this morning. It is a blessing to be here. I want to thank you for those that to be here this morning. My name is Julius. There's a serious on and off electricity supply in my area, but we shall make sure that amidst all, we shall always be available. Okay, I want to welcome different leaders on the call. I see we have leader OBM from Nigeria. Happy to have you here, sir. I see leader Nazar from South Africa. Happy to have you here. Leader Kojo from that side of Ghana. Happy to have you here. Leader Leila from Saudi Arabia. Happy to have you here. Leader Chigo Link from that side of Indonesia. Happy to have you here. Cryptologist from that side of South Africa. Happy to have you here. Leader Pastor Cyrus from Kenya. Happy to have you here. Leader Elizabeth Stali from that side of UK. Happy to have you here. Leader Emmanuel from that side of Nigeria. Happy to have you here. Okay, all right. Okay, Leader Preship from that side of South Africa. Happy to have you here. Wealth Queen, happy to have you here. All right, now I feel like you need to get started. Okay, so today is the 24th of specifically of October 2022. The month we started recently has now come to the end. And some people may not be happy with the market. Some people may be happy with the market. Some people may not be happy with their results. Some people would be happy with their results. All right. But no matter how the results are, we just needed to keep planning what we are supposed to do and the approach to what we are supposed to do. All right. That should be the main goal. All right. So if we basically focus on learning what we are supposed to do, and then we go to our respective team members and do one-on-ones and teach them what they are also supposed to do, then things are going to move our way. Okay. So we can not only just talk about the business without us going now a little bit further to our respective teams, all right? And teach them the same thing, okay? Because we can only be able to build business if we have a system. And we can only know that we have a system if the system we have can be known by everybody on our team, right? So that is also very, very important. So today, we want to look at Royalq trading fundamentals, right? Royalq trading fundamentals. Now, when we talk about the Royalq trading fundamentals, is that we want to be able to understand the basic things that everybody who joins our business must understand. The basic things that everybody who makes a decision to join Royalq must understand. And if someone understands these basics, I basically believe they can calmly stay in the business without emotions. All right. So on Monday, we come up with these fundamentals, these basics. The first question that maybe you could chat us into the chat is, why do we trade? It's our first question this morning, ladies and gentlemen, leaders on the call. Why do we trade? Why do we trade? Right? Why do we trade? Because we want to make things much more simple for everybody. Why do we trade? All right. You can come into the chat. Why do we trade? Because if someone joins our business and they understand, why do they trade? Why do we trade? Right? Why do we trade? All right. Although signals might be being dropped in the group, although anything, why do we trade? It's the most question. So I need some answers, Mr. Emmanuel. Yes. Why do we trade? Some answers into the chat. Why do we trade? Why do we trade? All right. Some answers in the chat. Some answers in the chat. Why do we trade? All right. Why do we trade? Okay. Because if we have the answers to why we trade, then everything is gonna move very, very smoothly with everybody in our teams. All right. Why do we trade? Why do we trade? Why do we trade? Okay. Why do we trade? Why do we trade? Okay, so let's go into the chat and let us find out some answers. Why do we trade? Because if someone gets the right mindset of why we trade, then things are gonna be very, very smoothly with the people you bring in the business. Why do we trade? Why do we trade, ladies and gentlemen? Some answers in the chat. Some answers in the chat. Some answers in the chat. Because we need to clear the right mindset and have the right attitude, okay? Some answers in the chat, some more answers in the chat, some more answers in the chat. Why do we trade? Why do we trade? Why do we trade? Okay, why do we trade? These are fundamentals that we believe everybody must understand, okay? All right, thank you so much. Let's get into the, Mr. Emmanuel says we trade to accumulate coins, okay? Mr. David says we trade to make money, all right? Geoffrey says to make profits, all right? Shem says to accumulate wealth assets, okay? Black J says to be financially free, okay? Ellie says we trade to get profit, all right? Okay, Tadeo says to accumulate digital assets, okay? iPhone says we trade to achieve financial freedom. Okay, Beatrice says to accumulate coins and sell to get profit. Okay, Black J says to be financially free. Muhammad says to have financial freedom. All your answers are right. But then, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why we trade, before maybe I give the reason why we trade, I have a second question that maybe you could give me some answers. I have some answers. I need some answers in the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, do we control the market? Can we know? Who of us here can say that I can know where the market will go? Who of us can predict the market? Who of us here says we can predict the market? We cannot predict the market. We cannot control the market. We cannot control the market. We cannot predict the market. We cannot know, by the way, most importantly, we cannot know where the market will go. We cannot. We do not control the market. We can just predict. Like the word says, we can predict. But even when we predict, the market can refuse to go our way. Even when we analyze the market can refuse to go away. By the way, you can do technical analysis, fundamental analysis, you can do all, and the market does not move your way. So the reason why we trade, we do not trade to make profit because we don't control the market. We trade to accumulate crypto assets so that when the market goes high, we can sell and make money. That's the main reason why we trade. We trade to accumulate crypto assets. That's our main reason why we trade. We trade to accumulate crypto assets. And if everybody on the call, 65 of us, goes back to their team and informs only 10 people the reason why we trade, maybe in the different groups where you are right now, you can go in those groups and type the reason why we trade. We trade to accumulate crypto assets when the market is going down. So we buy more so that when the market goes high, we sell and make profit. Now, basically speaking, this is not applicable to people who use exchanges to trade. But like we are going to see that because we are using a robot, the more we buy, the more we move the average price closer to the current price, like we are going to see in the first 4 margin calls. But when we start from the 50th call to the 100th call, when we buy, we create an independent average price so that when the market rises, our robot can sell that specific call and we still make profit. That's why our goal is not to trade to make profit. All right. So if you change your goal from trading to make profit to trading to accumulate, then you're going to enjoy this journey. You're going to enjoy this journey. You'll be comfortably using your Royalq without pressure. Okay. So I hope everybody now understands that since we do not control the market, since we don't know where the market can go, we can just predict. It is important for us to use our robot in a right way so that we accumulate when the market is going down, depending on how you want your market to drop by which percentage, and managing your funds well. We're going to go into a little bit that later. Right, 2, which market do we trade in? Which market do we trade in? Some answers in the chat. Which market do we trade in? 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 Some answers in the chat, some answers in the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, let us participate. Let us participate. Let us participate. Let us participate. Which market do we trade in? 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 Right, which market do we trade in? Right, which market do we trade in? Which market do we trade in? Some answers in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Thank you so much. Ellie says the spot market. KB says the spot market. Leah says the spot market. Cryptologist says the spot market. Mwangu says the downward trend. Okay. Beatrice says in the spot market. Thank you so much. Jackson says in the spot market. K says in the spot market. iPhone says in the spot market. Mary says in the spot market. All right. Okay. Kate says in the spot market. Dan says in the spot market. Mwangu says in the spot and margin trading. Shem says in the spot market. All right. All right. Okay. Now I have the second questions. Those that have said in the spot market, why? Because the spot market is the right answer. I'm gonna go into details, but we are trading only in the spot market, right? Only in the spot market, all right? That's the right answer. But then the question is, why the spot market? Why the spot market? Why the spot market? Why are you not in the derives market? Why are we not in the future market? Right? Why the spot market? Why? Why did we choose the spot market? Why the spot market? Some answers in the chat. We are trying to run it an interactive session. We are trying to run an interactive session to see if we can be able to speak the same language. Why do we trade in the spot market, right? Why do we trade in the spot market? Why do we trade in the spot market? Because we needed to have an understanding that is free from emotions, right? Because if you trade with an understanding, then you trade calmly. Then you trade calmly. All right. Thank you so much. Some answers in the chat. Some answers in the chat. We trade here. We trade in the spot market. Sol says we trade in the spot, we buy low and sell high. Thank you. Hamad says that because we never lose our capital. Thank you so much. Okay. Kate says in the spot market, we don't lose our money. Thank you so much. KB says you don't lose your money. The value can only go down. Thank you so much. David says to minimize losses. Thank you so much. We won't lose assets. We can only lose value. Thank you so much. We don't lose our money. We don't sell at a loss. Okay. Thank you so much. Our money is safe in the spot market because we can analyze the market trend and according to the market condition. Okay, it is the only way that we buy in the dip because we don't lose. One cannot miss because it buys low and sells high because in the spot market, because in the spot we trade the current, not the future, nor the past. No liquidity on the spot market. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for your amazing answers. The first, like you said, we trade in the spot market. And the reason why we trade in the spot market, ladies and gentlemen, one is risk management. Whoever says that the financial markets are very risky, I think all of us understand that the financial markets are very risky. Ladies and gentlemen, they are very, very risky. They are very, very risky. Right? They are very, very risky. Okay, and since they are very, very risky, it is important for us to enter this market with risk management. And one of the way we can manage our risks is using the spot market. And the reason why the risk management is very key here is that when we buy crypto in the spot market, we own the crypto assets. That's why it is not important for you to go and borrow money and bring it in trading. Because if you go and borrow money and then bring the money in trading with the mindset of understanding that I saw someone make $200 yesterday, so let me go to the bank and I borrow 10 million, then next week I'll be able to pay back because this seems to be very profitable. You should not bring money for your children's school fees. You should not bring in money for your rent. You should not bring in money that has a problem. By the way, basically and purely, you should not bring in money that you need now. I don't know whether my answer is okay. You should not bring in money that you need now in financial markets. That's why we use the spot market, because we can buy crypto and we can own it, right? For example, if I have 2,000 coins of MDX, I own those coins. The value doesn't matter. So I can transfer these coins of MDX from my Binance account to my Trust wallet because I own the crypto assets. We decided to trade in the spot market because it improves your hodling power. You can decide to keep these coins for as long as you want. So that's why we trade in the spot market. There is no market similar to the spot market. By the way, even the commodity market, you cannot own the platinum that they sell or the silver. You cannot own. It's only in crypto that you own those specific assets. That's why we trade in the spot market. In other markets, you don't own. You can lose everything. But here you own the assets and you can transfer them to anywhere you want, right? So, you know, we want to work with people who have the right mindset. You know, when you say you are trading to chase profit, you are in a wrong business, right? Because if you trade to make profit, it means that when things don't move your way, you feel like killing everybody onto the chart because you feel like things are not running your way. It is as simple as understanding that we do not control the market. As simple as that. And since we do not control the market, we should not get annoyed with our results. I have a second question. People have been in the business. With your experience, does the market bounce back? When the market goes down, does the market bounce back? Before I continue, I want to go to the third question. Does the market bounce back? When the market goes down, does the market return? According to your experience, people have been here for some time. According to your experience, I don't want to use my personal experience. Does the market bounce back? If according to your experience, does the market bounce back? When the market goes down, does it bounce back? When the market goes down, does it bounce back? I need some answers in the chat. Does it bounce back? Does it bounce back? Does it bounce back? All right, okay. All right, okay. Men say, yes, it does. Sure, it does. Sure, it does. Sure, it does. Okay, everybody says, yes. Yes, the market does not go down forever. It comes back. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. If we all now understand that the market bounces back, why now do we become emotional to results? Why do we become emotional to results? Why? If we all know that when the market goes down, the market returns and we make a profit, then we should not become emotional to results. The most important, yes, impatience. Yes, impatience. Impatience. Thank you so much. So we just need to be patient. We just need to be patient because the market will always return. All right. Having answered that, let me go to the third question. And this really is one that everybody should be able to really understand. Which type of a robot is Royalq? Now we know why we trade. Now we know which market we trade. Which market? Thank you so much, all different leaders. Now we want to know which type of a robot is Royalq, because when you trade with understanding, then you trade calmly. When you trade with understanding, then you have no emotions attached. When you trade with understanding, right? When you trade when you understand. Okay, imagine if all of us go back to our teams and teach our teams the same information, then you're going to have a cool environment, free from emotions. Thank you so much. Some answers in the chat. Someone says it's a hybrid robot. Thank you so much. A grid robot. Thank you so much. A hybrid robot, a grid robot. Thank you so much. Amazing answers in the chat. Okay, so let us run an artificial intelligent robot. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hybrid robot. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Because when we understand what we have, then we can use it effectively. So that when things are not moving your way, when the market, instead of the market moving up, the market is coming down. Because you understand the type of a robot you have, then you need to go and give this robot specific instructions that are gonna bring the results that you want. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Different answers in the call. Thank you so much. Royalq is a martingale robot. Yeah, martingale. Thank you so much. Semi-automated robot, hybrid robot. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, it is true that Royalq is a semi-automatic artificial intelligent robot. That's the normal cause. You know, now let me first explain these statements before I go to the real, those are just statements. The real robot. When you say it is semi, we mean that for the robot to trade for you, it will need your instructions. Now, Royalq has been built in a way you can use copy traders, master traders, and follow their trading strategy. Yes, you can follow master traders in Royalq. Someone says no sound. Sure. Someone says no sound. Okay, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. There are 6 people on this call. I'll get some leaders. My brother, Coach Mopiwa, Leader Leila, Kojo, Leader Preshi, and Leader OBM, or any other person. Please, you can chat these. There is Wisdom. There is Kasuja Sarah, Halima, Jeremy. Right, help them switch on their microphones because they are really here, but they cannot do anything. Okay, they cannot do anything. So could we help them? Could we help them down there? Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate. I see Leader Eunice is also on the call. Could we help these people down here so that they could improve their sounds? We chat them one-on-one so that they can switch on their microphone. All right, so let me increase the number of leaders who can be able to help me. I've made you co-hosts, so you can be able to chat them privately and help them here on the call. Thank you so much. To switch on their microphone. I also see Leader Silver Transformer. All right. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the first answer onto our call is that Royalq is a martingale robot. Now, I want to go very, very slow to explain this so that everybody understands. Royalq is a martingale robot. Now, let's explain martingale. All of us know that when we go to a Royalq application, let me just come back here a little bit. When you go to a Royalq, I can't log in. I can't log in. Let me use the whiteboard. Okay. I can't log in. Let me use my whiteboard. All right. So the martingale. Now, we all know that our robot has what we call margin calls. Margin calls are those number of times you want your robot to buy. Now, from the first call, the first drop, margin call drop, the second, the third, and the fourth. When the robot buys the first time and the market bounces, the robot will sell whatever it has bought here once. When the robot buys the first time and the second time, and the market bounces, the robot will sell these two at once. Once the robot buys the third time and the market bounces, it will sell these 3 bought at once. Once the market buys the fourth call, it will sell all these 4 at once. So no matter whatever it has bought from 1, 2, 3, and 4, it sells it at once. When the market rises, whatever it has bought, it will sell it at once. For the first call to the fourth call. Has someone understood that? Has someone understood that? As simple as that. If you have understood that, give me some thumbs up. Give me some thumbs up. Give me some thumbs up. So, when you go to your robot and say, my take profit, I need to find a way to log into my account because this phone is not doing well. I need to find a way. Just a minute, because I want to create clarity. Okay, just a minute. I can't log in into this phone, so I need to do something. Allow me to do it in just 1 or 2 minutes. Then we can be able to continue. Okay, let's do this. Just a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Just a minute. Okay, now let me share my screen. I think I'm done. We are trying to keep this simple because we want to work with people who understand what we do, right? Okay. All right. So if I choose a coin to trade, for example, let me see if I could find a coin to trade for here, very fast, sharp. By the way, I haven't checked the robot working. Hey, it is working. Some $90 here. Oh, the robot is working. Okay. You know, the robot. All right, so let's get into this and see. Now, for example, I pick 1 inch to trade. Right, let's go to trade settings. What I'm talking about is that what you put here in the whole position take profit. Maybe you want your take profit to be 3. It is 3% of what? Of whatever maybe the robot has bought once, it will sell 3%. If it has bought twice, it will sell 3%. If it has bought 3 times, 3% or 4 times. So whatever it has bought, this will be the take profit percentage. Has someone understood that? Has someone understood that? Has someone understood that? I want to confirm in the chat. Give me some thumbs up if I've understood that. We wanna make things much more simple. We want to make things much more easier. We want to make sure that the things are understandable in simple ways. We don't want to speak tongues, right? We don't want to speak tongues. Has someone understood that? So if you put in 5%, it is 5% of what? It is 5% of what? It is 10% of what? It is only 5% or 10% of whatever the robot has bought so far. If this is our robot settings, and we're talking about where this is where we put our take profit. This one here, it is 1% of what? Of whatever the robot buys from here, 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 and here. This one. So when the market rises, it will sell all of this at once, 1.3 take profit. Those that have not yet understood, are you now okay? Are you now okay? Those ones that have understood, are you now okay? Are you now okay? Those ones that were saying you have not yet understood, are you now okay? As simple as that. So if someone understands that, then you trade calmly. That when I put 2%, it is 2% of what? Of whatever the robot has bought up to the 4th call. Okay, now let's go to the next type of a robot Royalq is. Royalq is not just a martingale robot. Royalq is also a grid robot. But okay, now let me first go back here. Let me first go back here. Let's go in here a little bit. Let me first leave the margin calls. Now, for example, let me return. You see this area here, you see the current price and also see the average price, right? When the robot buys, it creates the first average price when you put in the first buying amount, this one. But when the market drops at whatever percentage you put in, which we call the margin drop, this one, the margin drop, this one, it means that when the market falls by 3.5, the robot should multiply by 2. My first buying amount is $15. So whenever it buys this call, this one, only the first call, what happens? What happens with Royalq? Royalq brings the average price close at this current price. It keeps on doing it when it buys the first time, the second time, the third time, and the fourth time. That's why it is better to use Royalq than your exchanger. Why? Because what will Royalq do? Whenever it buys this time, it moves the average price close at the current price. It buys this time, it moves the average price close at the current price. It buys this time, it moves the average price close at the current price. It buys this time, it moves the average price closer to the current price. And if the market rises from the fourth call, it sells all of these at once by a take profit you put here, which is now 1.3%. Has everybody understood the martingale robot? Has everybody understood now the martingale robot? Has everybody now understood the martingale robot? Has everybody now understood the martingale robot? I want to go to the second robot. Yes, what if it rises? Yes, even if it rises before the fourth call, it will sell the 3 calls it has bought all at once. All at once, and give you your 1.3 of the first 3 calls it has bought. Of the first 3 calls it has bought. Okay. Now let's go to the second type of a robot. The second type of a robot. So it's up to you to say, I need 10%, right? It is up to you to say, I need 10%. It's up to you to say, I need 3%. It's up to you to say, me, I need 1.1%. It's up to you. Okay. But I wanna tell you something I've discovered for the time I've been in the business. Whenever I take 1.1%, I've tried this with my MDX, especially if I know this coin is on an upward trend. Whenever I trade my MDX with 1.1%, I find that my robot, and I put it maybe in the cycle, depends. I find that my robot has been buying and selling so many times. It can buy and sell 10 times, and I have my 10%. And I have my 10%. But I've been taking little by little by little by little by little by little from the market. Than me maybe wanting 15% at once. Because I understand how the robot works. As simple as that. Now let's go to the grid robot. All right, let's go to the grid robot. Let's go to the grid robot. Let's go to the grid robot. Now, grids are like you see, I'm drawing these lines. Okay. Let me say the market starts from up here, it comes down, your robot buys. The market comes here down, your robot buys. The market comes down here, your robot buys. The market rises, your robot sells. The market rises, your robot sells. I'm gonna explain this, right? So let me change the color. So this one is a layer or a grid, but Royalq calls it a bin. So this is bin number 5. This is bin number 6. This is bin number 7. So from call number 5 of layer number 5 or bin number 5, bin number 6, and bin number 7, Royalq buys each of these as independent. Each of these is independent. So once it buys layer number 5, what happens? 1, this helps to decrease. That's why this robot is so sweet. Now here we're talking about Royalq being a grid robot. It buys layer number 5 independently. So what happens? Once by layer number 5 creates its own average price. It creates its own average price, layer number 5. Layer number 6 also creates its own average price. Layer number 7 also creates its own average price. But also, this they have bought helps to reduce the total average price up here. The total average price. It helps to reduce the total average price once it buys each layer independently. So when the market rises, it can sell layer number 7 independently. It can sell layer number 6 independently. It can sell layer number 5 independently. Each layer is independent, and each layer can have its own take profit. Before I go to my Royalq application, has everybody understood that? If you have understood that, give me some thumbs up. We want to use a robot with understanding, free of emotions. We know why we trade. We want to use our robot with understanding. It does not matter what happened in the past. So you want to be able to use your robot with an understanding so that you can enjoy your robot. If you understood, if you have not understood, then let me know in the chat. If you have not understood, let me know in the chat. We want to use our robot with an understanding. We don't want to be hyped with excitement, comparing other people's profit with our profit. It does not work that way. You want to use your robot with understanding, and you can edit it anytime because you understand it. So if someone has understood the grid robot, I want to go to my Royalq and show you the grid robot. It's a grid robot because each layer it buys from number 5 is independent. It creates its own average price. Yes, it reduces on the total average price, but it has bought it independently. It will sell it independently. Now let's go to our Royalq application, all right? Let's go to our Royalq application. Here we go. Now we have understood that from layer number 1 to layer number 4 here, whenever our robot buys, it reduces the total average price. And when the robot sells, it sells everything at once. Now let's go to layer number 5. Now layer number 5 is independent. It buys this at once. When the market rises, it sells this alone. It buys this once. When the market rises, it sells this alone. It buys this once. When the market rises, it sells this alone. All right. Alone, each, alone, each, alone, each, alone, each, alone. Now, do you see this area? Do you see this area here? The distributed take profit allocation. Each layer can have an independent take profit. 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 I have a question in the chat. I have a question in the chat. According to your understanding today, is it possible for someone to profit even when the market is down? Or if someone is in floating loss, which I haven't talked about today, is it possible? Now with your understanding, is it possible for someone to even keep making money even on a coin they are on floating loss? Is it possible? I have some questions. Since you know now that the robot has layers that are independent, it does not wait. When the market rises, I have a question. I need some answers in the chat. I need some answers in the chat to see if people are understanding. My goal is to build a community of people who understand what they do. Right? I need some answers in the chat. Is it possible, according now to your understanding? No hype, no excitement, not this one is profiting, this one is not profiting. We are now basically to make sure that you understand, because we want you to trade with an understanding. We want you to trade with an understanding. We just want you to trade because each is independent. Yeah, you said beans independently. You open more. Yes. Yes. Thank you so much. Yes. Thank you so much. Yes. You will be taking your little profits. You'll be taking your little profits without waiting for the market to return. Without waiting for the market to return. All right. Okay. Now let's go to the third robot. Let's go to the third robot. Royalq is a sub-bin mode robot. Let's go into that. Royalq is a sub-bin mode robot. Let me open my, oh, what's up, what's up, what's up? All right, just a minute. Just a minute. We're about to come to the end of our call. Sometimes phones can jam. My phone is refusing now my instruction. I'm trying to tell the phone that I'm the owner, so it should listen to me, not to anybody else. But it is trying to refuse, okay? But I'll do my best. See if I can come back again. Right. Okay. It's not working out here. Right, basically. All right, let me explain, then I'll invite another leader share our screen so that we can see. Sipakwata. Simutekola. Star 175. Star 4. Data with the All right, okay. I would request Mr. Mbruce Perito and Coach Mopiwa to continue from there. It seems my device is not working well, but let me try to see if it can. I see it is no longer. Yeah, sure. I need to change to another device. I don't know, it's my network. Right, Mr. Mbiru Spirit and Coach Mopiwa, would you pick up from there if you are in position? Mr. Mbiru, are you on the call, sir? All right.
Yes, I'm on. I'm on. Thank you very much, Mr. Julius Kabanda, for such an amazing brief training already you have given us. Good morning. My name is Mbiru Spirito. And I'm going to request Coach Mofiwa, if you are in position to continue with what we have been discussing, just go on and then see what we can supplement on.
Good morning, my leader. Sorry, I'm not in a position right now. Can you hear me?
It's okay. It's okay. All right. Now, our last discussion has been, we have been already seen that even when someone is in floating loss, you can be in a position to make profits. And when I check on the charts, I can see that the majority have understood the concept. Okay. So that's why always they are telling you that whenever you are going to trade, make sure you add in some margin calls so that you can get a chance, or you create a chance for your robot to keep on buying, even when even when the market is dropping down. Okay, rather than just waiting when to go up only without getting a chance of selling at different levels or at different margin calls. Almost, if you had started with us, many things have been discussed, and I know people have learned something. So me, I'm here just to summarize what we have learned from Moderator Julius. And in trading, as he said it, that we don't want to make business so complicated. We just want to make things possible. And we are willing to help anyone who is willing to learn a few steps to make your robot more beneficial for you. You know, majority we have robots, but some people, they don't know how to use it. Okay? That means if we don't teach, if you don't learn, then it means we have not helped ourselves. That means even when we learn here, it is better as a leader to go back and get that new person who has just joined, because I believe the majority you have introduced so many people into this business. That means we have to teach them the concept of trading, because with the trading, this is the fastest way someone can make the money, because the moment someone has trading capital, it is easier for someone to make the money. So I'm going to give a chance. If you are here, maybe you've missed something from what they have discussed. You can raise up your hand and then you ask the question where you have missed or where you have not understood, because today we have been talking about trading. You leave the coins in one shot, but you open up the margin calls. And we have seen that when you open up the margin calls, you create a chance of selling at different prices. That means even when your coin is in red, when your coin seems to be in negative, you can check and see some sales on your robot. How does that one happen? It is due to what we call margin calls. That means trading with margin calls, it is on our advantage. And if you trade without it, it means you are missing. Okay? Okay. Let me see. Now, Narima is asking, do we always have to keep margin calls open? Now, it depends on your capital, okay? Because, for instance, you have 100, and the robot you started with, let me say we started with the 20, and the robot now it has bought 5 times or 4 times. You cannot keep your margin calls open because you don't have more money to buy again. That means for you to be in a position to keep always your margin calls open, that's when you have money. I mean in USDT, okay? That is not in a trade, which the robot can use to buy more. That's what I advise. Even someone with 50 can also open margin calls. Now we have Geoffrey Mwanguzi is asking, even when someone with the 550 USDT can open margin calls. Now, for instance, your first buy is 15. Right? You may say that my first buy is 15, and I'm going to allow 2 margin calls, let me say. That means you also benefit if you add in some margin calls, because remember, there's no situation whereby the coin, you are going to find the coin that is just go up without retracing down. Okay, always our coins move up and down before it hits that target of 2% or 3% you have set. It has to first go down very many times before it reaches that point. That means if you can buy below those very many times, you are on an advantage. Okay. Then how much more money do I need to open? Now this one is asking, how much more money do I need to open margin calls? Let's say I'm trading with the 100. Now, you people, I want you to understand this business, okay? We don't have a theory here that we are following. Sometimes you need to apply what we call general knowledge, because all in all, it is going to depend on how many margin calls do you want to buy, okay? There's no specific amount of money that someone is going to tell you that you should be with this amount for you to, when you are trading with 100, you should be with this specific amount. It is going to depend on you, okay? And how many times are you going to buy again? I mean the margin calls. So to me, I don't have a specific amount I can tell you. It all depends on you, or on your margin calls that you are going to use. And always you consider your first buy. Now, if your first buy, I remember always leaders tell you that if your first buy is big, okay, you can edit that first buy. After starting the coin, you can click again on trade setting and edit that first buy and make it low so that your money will be enough. Now here, so which mode, always when you open your margin calls, it means that you are not going to trade in a whole position take profit. It means we're going to trade in what we call sub-bin mode, your time settlement. Reason why? Because though there are difference between sub-bin and sub-bin mode, your time settlement. With sub-mid, you don't see the profit even when there's the sale of a certain call. That profit is used to reduce or to bring the current price closer to the average price. Now, it is also going to depend on you. Do you want to see your profit at each sale, or you want your profit to reflect at once after the close of the sale? Now, if you want your profit to reflect at each call, then there you are going to use what we call sub-bin. Okay, let me share my screen and I show people this, because I might talk about sub-bin when people are not understanding where you get it from. Okay. Right, I believe people some can see my screen here. Okay. Okay. Now let me say that we are trading. All right, this is what I will mean. This is a modes of trading we can use. We have what we call warehouse mode. With this, if you buy a coin, the coin is sold once, and your money or your profit reflect. That's all. No buying more time. Then, if you use sub-bin mode here, the robot will sell each call independently, but until the last call, that's when you will see your profit. That's why I used to hear some people complaining that my coin is sold, but I don't see the profit. Maybe you are using this mode. Here, the profit reflects once when all the calls have been sold. But here, each call reflects its own profit. Now it depends on you, which call do you want? Okay. Okay, that's all I can talk about with on margin calls. Let me continue reading from the chat and see. Okay. Please, I have many coins, 10 coins on very high floating losses of 69 and up to 87%. How do I profit in such a situation without adding more capital? Now, trading cryptocurrency is not different from any other business. It's not different from any other business that are done. Okay. When it's all about trading. Now, let me say you are trading cars. Okay. You are trading cars. And now you had made an order of a certain type, and then the market has dropped. Now this one is asking me, how can he benefit from after buying the cars and the market has dropped without adding in more money? Now, let us be realistic, okay? So that if you don't do this business when you are realistic, you can make life complicated. A coin being in floating loss, it means the current price is lower than the cost price. Yet, if we are to make profit, the cost price should be lower than the selling price. That's when, if you sell, that's when you earn money. So my leader was asked this question: how do you benefit? You just leave your coins aside and share your link. That's the only way you can benefit. Because if you sell the coin, you make a loss. If you keep on waiting the market, we don't know when it will come. Remember, you don't want to add in more money. So the only way to benefit is you to leave your trade and wait the market as you share your link. That's all. That's all what I can tell you. When is the best to use what strategy that you have explained? When is it best to use what strategy that you have explained? Now, I've already talked about it, that it is also going to depend on you. What do you want as a trader? Remember, we trade with different missions. Okay, we are here as a trader in Royalq, but all of us, we are here with different missions. Now, I cannot tell you that you use this strategy because I don't know your mission in trading. Are you a long trader or you trade to get money now? Okay. If someone is a long trader, you will not find that person complaining about floating loss. If someone is trading to get money now, that's the only person who can complain. And then at the end, sell the coin in losses. So, ladies and gentlemen, now this one, it is going to depend on you and your mission of trading. If you need money now, then you can use a wholesale warehouse, or you can use sub-bin real-time settlement because you need money now. Okay. The first buy for margin call determines how many margin calls could be set. The first buy is not the one that determines because you are free to edit. Okay, you are free to edit. Let me say that your first buy is 500. You can edit and say now, from the second call or from the first call, let me buy using $20. Sir, I'm talking about to Sadiq. Yes, it is you to decide, not the first buy. The first buy amount, you can go ahead and edit the amount you want to use in margin calls. That one is you are free to do it. Because now if you are using your first buy as, let me say you are having 500 and your first buy is 300. Now, don't you see that if you leave your first buy as your margin call to be used as your margin call, don't you see that you cannot be in a position to buy again? Yet when you go ahead and edit, you can put any amount you want to use and also succeed in it. Okay. All right. All right. Now this one is asking that he need to know how to learn trading BTC, stock, or Ethereum. Now, how to trade the BTC, stock, or Ethereum. Now, there's no difference. Okay, the difference is in currency you are using, because when you open here, do you see this? Now, if you know how to trade in USDT, you cannot fail to trade using a BTC, because you just need to convert the first buy of USDT to BTC. Let me say, if I'm trading with my first, if I've been using USDT and I've been using my first buy 20 USDT. Now, for you to trade using the same amount, you just need to convert this 20 USDT to BTC, and you go ahead. That is simple. Okay, there's no magic. The game will remain the same. The strategy remains the same. Only that you just need to convert what would have been USDT then to BTC. Hope it is clear. Hopefully that one is clear. Then I'm about to finish. All right. People should have a long-term mindset. Yes. So leaders, so is advising people we should have a long-term mindset. Okay, it is a marathon, not a race. Everyone, if you keep on learning, you reach your destination. I have liked this. Okay, if you still have less trading capital, you just need to exercise patience with your trades. Yes, and me, sometimes I don't know what we want, because if someone is having USDT, he feels that he wants to start trading, especially the new people. When they have, if you have just introduced someone to the business and you'd let to set their trades, they can be on your neck. Okay, that I want to start trading. And immediately when they enter a trade, They cannot exercise patience. They want to see the back of their USD now. You can you wonder what people want. They don't want to see USDT. The same time, they don't want to see a trade that is not closing. Yet, Leader So has told us that this is a marathon. It's not a race. If we keep planning, all of us, we shall reach our destination. Right. Nathan is just thanking. All right. Let me see, Sadiq, I'm with you, Leader. What if the robot has built up to 3 margin calls before we edit? Now, it is up to you and your trading capital. Okay? It is up to you and your trading capital. Now, if your first buy, let me say 100, and you want the robot to buy 3 times, it means your money should exceed 300 USDT. But if you have less, the robot cannot make all that calls. All right. So with this, let me check and see whether okay. Thank you very much. I just want to invite back the person who started this Zoom to close for us, because it is time. We need to get time to exercise what we have done. Okay, learning is good, but overlearning is not good, especially when you are a business builder. Okay, now we need time to go back and everyone will sit on your phone and implement what we have learned and see whether at the evening we shall be having some what to show. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Mubiru Spirito, for the support and the backup. I also want to, I was not able to go offline. I want to thank Mr. Marvin, who, before I was contacting my data service provider, who loaded my line with some data. God bless you abundantly. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Marvin. Okay. He loaded magnitude of GBs onto my line. Thank you so much. Right, God bless you abundantly. Thank you so much, Mr. Marvin. Thank you so much, Mr. Mbiru Spirit. I would love to come to the end, but before I end, I would just like to remind you about our weekly program, right? Our weekly program. I believe by the end of our calls, people will get the message home. Today we were talking about the Royalq bot fundamentals, and we have talked a lot about them. This week, we may not be able to repeat them, but you're going to have them straight to yourselves on the 30th. On the 30th of this month, on Sunday, we are going to have a joint Zoom, and these will be handled by Mr. Rubet, all the way from Malaysia. We'll go a little bit more detailed about this on Sunday. Let me just show you. I don't know whether the flyer is ready. It's already available. Okay, let me just share with you so that maybe you can have a clear picture of what we are trying to talk about, so that you can understand. Okay. So on Sunday this week, it will be a 30th. Mr. Rubet and I will have a joint Zoom, and he will be talking about robotic crypto trading fundamentals. All right, we'll go into details about this. And this will cost you 3.5 hours free of charge. And it will start at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. East Africa Standard Time to 1:30 p.m. And in this meeting, Mr. Rubet will talk about why we trade, what is quantitative trading, what kind of robot is Royalq, why trade in the spot market, what is floating loss, dollar cost averaging, what is martingale trading, what is grid trading, the difference between BTC, Ethereum, USDT, BTC, Ethereum markets, and the introduction to the Royalq dashboard. After that introduction, I'll basically share the introduction to trading view and the trends and the candles. Then basically, I'll talk about the Elliott wave, the Fibonacci retracement indicator, and I'll talk about close to 4 indicators only that someone could use and keep benefiting from the market. Like I usually say, the indicators we provide help to give us market direction. Then we open up margin calls to help us keep in the trade. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. One friend of mine asked me about what I talk about, whether do we really make the results. And I thought right to share. I cannot share my screen, but I can share my camera. Yeah, I cannot share my screen, but I can share my camera. Let me just go through my results, all right? Okay. Basically, these are my personal results, and I know I am one of the people. I'm not always on the market all the time, but you can see this is $500 that I used to trade. Sometimes I can make more profit. Sometimes I can make little, but you never see me stay in the market. I never stay on the market. I pick a coin, then open up margin calls, right? So let us visit there a little bit also and see. Okay, I'm here, I'm trading. I decided to trade this coin on a little bit of a cycle. And you see so far it has invested 365. If you can see very clearly, let me try to throw this up just a little bit. Okay, to the main screen. So what I've been teaching is what I do, right? Sometimes I can keep in the one shot, like now I can turn this back to the one shot, like you see. And you see now the sub-bin modes. You see I keep my trades in the sub-bin mode. The reason why I keep my trades in the sub-bin mode is simple, is that when my robot sells, it does not give me my profit, but it uses my profit to lower the average price, this one, closer to the current price. Like you see, it plays in between. And you see the sub-bin modes are here, number 5 and number 6. If I have more capital, I could open more margin calls. And like if you look at the transaction record of this coin, you see every time my robot does a sub sell, it buys, it does a sub sell. It buys, it does a sub sell. It buys, it does a sub sell. You see, it buys, it buys, it does a sub sell. Now, when I talk about selling it wholly, now when the market rises, when it has sold number 5, number 6, it sells everything at once, then it gives me my profit. So I'm one of these kind of people who don't sleep in the market. So I like my take profit is 5%, but before I reach 5%, right? Before I reach 5%, you see that my robot this time around, I don't know why it's not getting back. All right. You see my robot here has bought 6 times. And let us look at my take profit. Here, it is 5% because it will sell. You see, it will sell 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 at once. All right. Now you see this is call number 6. All right. This is call number 6. I'm going to edit. And you see, because I know that when it buys these first 4, that's why I put a 2, 4, 6, 7, just increasing by 1 number. Then 5, I go back again. So I make sure that my average price is always closer to the current price. I don't need to be a trade statistician to be able to profit from the market. And the other issue is I remain patient. I remain patient with the market. All right. I remain patient with the market. But because I have sub sales, my robot can easily get out of the market on any purchase trade. The other thing I'll talk about, I do not overtrade. You can never find me. I need this back to the one shot now. You can never find me trading 10 coins, right? If I have $500, I'll trade 1 coin, right? I don't know, but maybe it's my network. I make sure I will trade 1 coin. You never find me with $500 trading 2 coins. No, I trade 1 coin. And before that coin gets out of that trade, I still don't pick another. So I make sure that if I want to trade a second coin, I find another $500 And what do I do to find another $500? Me, I don't waste my energy. I go back to the basics of our business and I say, okay, how am I going to do this? I'm going to do this by finding more capital. How am I going to find more capital, ladies and gentlemen? I make sure, like you see, if I take you here a little bit, so many people focus on other things, but I focus on the main thing, right? You see now here is me trying to close a deal. I'm trying to close a deal with this guy so that he can activate his robot. But as I'm closing a deal with this one to activate his robot, ladies and gentlemen, I also at the same time still go, I don't care what people think about, I still go back and find other people who want to listen to my opportunity, right? I make sure I go and present the business to other people. I make sure I go and tell other people about my business, right? Every single day. You see, I speak about my business and my goal is to find more capital. So when I enter a trade, I don't get emotionally attached to the results from the trade. No, I make sure that I now go and speak to other people about my business. But the challenge with some of us here, when the market is not doing well, what happens? What happens? You start complaining about your results in the trade, yet you are focusing on something you don't control. So once I pick my trade and the business is not, the market's not moving my way, I remain patient with the market. Then I go and share the opportunity. By the time I come back, I find my robot has made for me $10 to $20. And it has been doing this consistently because I know how to use my robot right. Two, I'm one person who doesn't compare results. When someone makes $100, it's okay. It's about their capital. If I have the same capital and maybe I have $500 and you make $100, you never see me complain about my results. I will not complain about me as having the same capital, me making $10 and you making $100 because I'm managing my funds. I'm using little per little per little per little per little per little per little. All right. So tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, join us. We shall talk about the understanding the compensation plan. Then on Wednesday, join us. We shall go into trading view. Trading view. Going trading view on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, we shall take you through how to share the Royalq opportunity. Then on Friday, question and answers. Depth, question and answers. Then on Saturday, new Royalq user orientation. Thank you so much. Yes, people who invited, we have lowered our tech capacity to 100 people. We are still keeping it to 100 until we see that things can work out. Thank you so much. God bless you and have a nice day till we meet again. It's a bye from my side. I hope you are able to learn something. I wish you all the best and I love you so much.